Hey everyone, it's Ed Flash with the Newcastle Arts Council. I am in the Georgetown neighborhood of Seattle, Washington on a beautiful sunny northwest day, and I'm here at Equinox Studios where I'm going to be visiting with Beth Gahan. Beth is an artist who has a mural on display at Lake Boren Park in Newcastle, Washington. Let's go on in. Arriving at Beth's studio. Let's see if Beth is home today.
Hello.
There she is. Hey Beth.
Welcome. How are you?
I'm great. Beth, you want to show us around and tell us what's going on here in your studio?
Absolutely. So welcome to my studio. I think this is a great way to visit with any artist, because the studio is kind of like the inner workings, you know, of our creative process. So I guess we can start over here. This is actually a form that, so I do temporary art, permanent art, and painting, and a lot of public art. And so I had done this form in a temporary art installation that turned out so beautifully, and I got such amazing feedback that I've been troubleshooting how to turn it into a more permanent form for permanent public art. So this is just a trial run where I'm testing out some panels and some lighting features and some colors and getting inspiration for a project I'm working on this year. And then you'll come over here and see this large-scale painting of the conservatory in Tacoma, which I completed about a year or two ago, and it kind of lives on this wall for now, but I have had the opportunity to exhibit it. Then I have, you know, both for inspiration but also storage. You'll see I have my installation art sort of tucked into every spare space I can find. So this is a project. Now the temporary art, I hand cut and create all the pieces. And this is a painting that I sort of started a while ago, and I'm getting ready to get back into it. Most of the time when I'm working on a painting, I like to work on it from beginning to end without stopping, but you know, we live in unusual times, and so I haven't had a chance to work on this for a while, and I'm excited to get back into it. So normally when I'm in the middle of my painting, there will be paint trays and tables all over this, so I really need a good chunk of the studio dedicated to a painting space so that when it gets messy, I still have room to work. Some paintings here. So I do paintings on wood panel, and you'll notice that the line work on this panel, it's actually not drawn. I use a wood burning tool, and I actually burn the lines into the wood. So that's a really cool process. I also then paint back into it, and I like to play a lot with transparency and opacity and even gel medium so that the paint can have sort of a 3D look to it. So you'll notice that in this one. Painting on canvas. And then this is a great piece to share with you because, again, I'm playing around with this form, but I thought, how interesting would it be to combine the 3D object with 2D painting? And what if this could be a whole kind of 3D wall mural? And so I designed the painting that you see on the wall behind it. I designed it specifically for this piece. I had the armature fabricated specifically for this project, and so basically the painting around it sort of adds color and pattern and gives it a little bit more of a organic complementary design. And then this has a lighting feature in it. So this is an example of where I'm sort of using my studio to troubleshoot some new ideas and new designs. And then I also hold open studios here as part of the Equinox Studios complex. And that gives me an opportunity to exhibit the work I'm working on and talk to the public and get feedback and kind of have really interesting conversations.
So Beth, this studio is part of a larger conglomerate of studios called Equinox. Can you tell me a little bit about that and why you like to work here?
Yeah, absolutely. I would love to talk about Equinox Studios. This is an absolutely incredible community of artists and artisans. And I have been in this particular studio now for, gosh, I want to say over 5 years, but I've been part of Equinox now for I think over 7 years. And when I first got a studio here, it was temporary to work on a large-scale project that was too big for the studio I was in at the time. And then I loved it here so much I never left. And since I've been here, this whole community of artists has grown from one building to multiple buildings. And it's just an amazing place to work. It's an incredible support system. It's inspiring. When I come to the studio and I walk down the halls, I can see what other artists are doing. And I think as an artist, just being around other artists who are working at their art practice regularly and who are present, it's really inspiring, and it really makes it a wonderful place to come and get into a creative mindset and kind of do your work. And then certainly there's a lot of resources here as well. And so I'll work with other artists, especially metal fabricators. Some of the artists here have equipment, and so I really try whenever possible to collaborate with artists here at Equinox before I look outside of the studio complex.
Is there one place in your studio that you really, really love that inspires you the most?
That is tough to answer, because what happens is I start in one corner, and then as I work on different projects, I start to migrate around the studio. And so I think right now this is sort of my favorite space, I think because the weather's getting nicer, it's near the window. I also like that when I'm painting, I have sort of the white behind it. But then when I'm doing more sculptural projects, these tables are on wheels, and so I can kind of pull this into the middle of the studio and have a really nice big workspace. And I think that actually might be my favorite thing, because space is such a hard thing to come by, and I'm really fortunate to have a studio that has a good amount of floor space and high ceilings. And so I love to push these tables together and spread out my materials all over the table and just really enjoy having that space.